With enemies like these, it's no wonder Courage is terrified of everything. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Courage the Cowardly Dog villains.
No use fighting it, dog. We are about to live in a fantasy world.
For this list, we're recognizing Courage's most formidable and frightening foes from across the show's history. We're excluding Eustace, as he isn't all that bad, and even helps Courage on occasion.
Are you sure you don't want to go?
Be off with you now. My favorite show is starting.
Number 10. The Great Fusilli.
The Great Fusilli, at your service.
This Italian alligator has an ego bigger than Eustace's chin. Using his magic show, the Great Fusilli lures victims onto the stage with the promise of fame and fortune, then transforms them into enchanted wooden marionettes.
I don't feel quite myself.
It's a good show, no?
While the malicious magician appears to be a clever and confident showman, it didn't take much for him to become a victim of his own work.
You leave her alone! He's a phantom! Oh?
When Courage tricks him into thinking he's become a phantom, a frightened Fusilli jumps off the platform over the stage, landing in front of the spotlight and becoming a marionette himself.
How now, brown cow?
Number 9. Ma Bagge.
Hi, Ma!
Hello, Courage.
In hindsight, it's no surprise that Eustace's mother is just as abusive as her son, although it does explain where he got his resentful behavior from. When we first met her in the episode Mother's Day, Ma Bagge felt like a nice change of pace for Courage, giving the dog tons of love and attention while dismissing Eustace.
If you'd come to see your ma, you might get something to eat. But do you come? No!
I'm here, ain't I?
However, she quickly became a bully, putting down her son even when he was trying to make her happy. Thankfully, the two patched things up and come to an understanding of one another, and Ma Bagge went on to become part of the supporting cast in future episodes.
Thank you, son. But you're the ugliest boy I ever did see.
Number 8. The Snowman.
And what do you think you're doing? Put that back.
As the Mr. Freeze to Courage's Batman, the Snowman is yet another one of the Pink Pup's rivals who ends up being misunderstood.
It's not like it was in the old days, when ice and snow were everywhere, and snowmen ruled the world.
In The Snowman Cometh, he plots to extract an anti-melting gene from Eustace and Muriel to prevent his own demise.
I have found it. I have found the anti-melting gene of a human being.
In his second appearance, the Season 3 episode Snowman's Revenge, he manages to block out the sun, but still laments being the last of his kind.
You shall keep watch from atop that pole to let me know when the snow has completely blocked out the sun.
It's difficult not to feel for him at least a little, and the fact that he kinda sounds like Sean Connery adds charm. Rather than try to get rid of him, Courage finds a way to bring back the Snow People, creating a happy ending for everybody.
Ivana, let us go home.
Number 7. Spirit of the Harvest Moon.
Would you look at that?
It's a floating head.
I was talking about that leaky pipe.
Next to another villain on this list, the Spirit of the Harvest Moon is one of Courage's most visually jarring foes.
Because you don't respect your land, you must leave it.
Looking like a face cut out of an old horror movie from the 1920s, the Spirit of the Harvest Moon haunts Eustace, Muriel, and Courage, angry that they haven't made use of the land.
By midnight, you either grow or go.
While his frightening appearance made him a memorable villain of the show, what makes the Spirit stand out more is the fact that he's one of the few foes to have taught Eustace a lesson. Well, more or less.
In his own way.
And then I'll grow hundreds of plants, thousands of plants, and I'll be rich, rich, rich.
Number 6. The Chicken from Outer Space. Now this is going all the way back to Courage's What a Cartoon days. This extraterrestrial chicken is just as witty and cunning as every other villain we've seen so far. In his first appearance, the chicken from outer space manages to not only kill off every one of the Bagge's chickens, but also hide the evidence. Courage is onto him though, and each time the chicken visits the farm, we're treated to various fight scenes, from fencing to arm wrestling to checkers. The chicken may lose most of these battles, but you gotta admire the perseverance on display. Number 5. The Cruel Veterinarian.
May I talk with the two of you for a moment in private?
While the theme song tells us that Courage was abandoned, he was actually separated from his parents by this guy right here. The Cruel Veterinarian might seem like a nice old man at first glance, but he's really a sinister schemer who believes that sending dogs into space will somehow transform them into super dogs.
I know just what to do with a dog, but I'd like to have a moment with him alone.
The maniacal doctor even went so far as to send Courage's parents into space for the sake of his harebrained experiment. Whereas most of Courage's enemies are con artists relying on tactful deception, the Cruel Veterinarian is basically a mad scientist. Number 4. Le Quack.
An amnesia specialist required. This sounds like an easy score.
What is it with Courage and evil poultry? Whatever the reason, it's helped create memorable menaces such as the chicken from outer space, and of course, the French duck Le Quack. With his stylish blue hair and smooth voice, Le Quack is a slick con man, or con duck, who's always after other people's valuables.
Yes, we are soon ready to make the big plaque.
Cunning and manipulative, Le Quack has proven countless times that he's not to be trifled with. He also holds a grudge, having escaped authorities in the past in order to seek revenge on poor Courage.
Duck is good, dog is bad. Duck is good, dog bad.
Number 3. Freaky Fred.
Holiday.
It's hard to believe that this guy is related to someone as kind-hearted as Muriel. Though appearing polite and intelligent, Fred is as freaky inside as his unnerving smile. Due to his obsession with cutting hair, those who dare to visit his barbershop will walk out with a shiny bald head.
Alone was I with tender courage, and all his fur, his furry footage, which I say did encourage me to be quite naughty.
As if things couldn't get any more unsettling, Fred has a tendency to speak in rhyme like a psychotic Dr. Seuss, and often creepily emphasizes the word naughty. Granted, these are also the traits that have made him such a favorite among fans.
Dear cur, your fur and fleece remind of nothing found in humankind, but for one fellow who did find me to be in a certain mood.
Number 2. King Ramses.
Return the slab, or suffer my curse.
This dead Egyptian pharaoh has the proud reputation of being one of the scariest villains to appear in a cartoon for kids. When a couple of grave robbers leave an ancient slab by the Bagge's water pump, Eustace realizes the artifact could be worth a fortune.
What's your... Huh?
However, Ramses begins terrorizing the Bagges, demanding they return the slab. Like the spirit of the harvest moon, King Ramses is terrifying because of how unnatural he looks compared to the show's typical visual style.
All right, but a million's as low as I'll go.
With his stiff movements and eerie voice, many kids went to bed with nightmares thanks to this guy. In fact, we might have put him at the top of the list had he appeared in more episodes.
Oh, come on.
Before we unveil our deviously sinister top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
I'm Benton Tarantella. Benton Tarantella? The famous independent movie director?
Oh, ain't that sweet. Granny fell asleep. Hate to pull you from your crib, but I got a granny stew to do.
You already know my reputation. I am Dr. Jalost, the greatest unhappy scientist who ever lived. And I want $33.33 billion for my unhappy cannonball project.
Come with me.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Cats.
Welcome to the Cats Motel. I'm Cats.
Since Courage became an official part of Cartoon Network's lineup, Cats has been the pup's arch nemesis. In the show's first episode, he tricked the Bagges into renting a motel room inhabited by carnivorous spiders.
My loves, dinner has arrived.
Over the next few years, the shady, slender feline ran a resort that turned humans into cyborgs, created a jam monster to steal a secret recipe from Muriel, and tricked them into joining a submarine cruise in order to blow them up.
You're a spy sent to thwart my efforts to blow up this sub with explosive tea.
Excuse me?
Needless to say, Cats is a thoroughly evil being, solidifying his place as the main antagonist of the show. Besides, he gets his own slick music whenever he's on screen.
Tonight, for your enjoyment, Eustace the Wrecking Ball.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.